Lebogang, and this is Things I Wish I Knew. So what did you wish you knew as a teenager? You'd want to get your teenagers in on this so that they can also come in and learn all about it. I know there are certain mistakes that I would have definitely avoided if I had the adult that I am now. I'm giving myself all the credit for that. So today's guest is Tertia. And Tertia, I'll tell you what I know about her, and then she can add on in terms of that. I know that she went to Ivory Park Secondary High, and after that she just flew with it, and she went to UP, my favorite university. UP, please, when I make an application, Kopa, please accept my application. I'm burning inside. She went to UP and she did a certain degree in there, and she had a switch up. So that's the switch up that we're going to focus on at the very end. But in the beginning, I want you to please listen to everything that she has to say, because it's going to be so helpful. Hi, Tsha.
Hi, Lebo.
So tell us a bit about yourself before we can continue.
Okay, as she has already mentioned, my name is Tertia and I am a high school teacher. I love teaching. I have found purpose in teaching. I found meaning in teaching.
Yes.
And for the first time in my life, I could say that I've found something that just fulfills me and sets my heart on fire. And I found that in teaching. I love life. I am a Christian. I love God. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And you're absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
We go.
So
Thank you so much for that, Lebo.
And the reason why I wanted you to come in and talk, is because you did not start with teaching.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did not start with teaching. Where did you begin?
Okay, so I started with BCom Economics, as you have already said, at Tax, and started BCom Economics, graduated in that, started working, but then while I was working, I realized that this is actually not me. And while working, after I did my BCom Economics, I did general management as well, because I thought to myself, okay, this is what I'm currently doing now. Let's maybe try to get into a management position and see what that would look like. Did my generic management with Insimbi training. And then even after that, I still felt like, no man, something is missing. Well, you're doing something and it's just like, cutting it off.
Yes.
So it was one of those. And I realized that I was tutoring kids. I was working with teenagers at my church. And I realized, you know what, this is what I actually like.
And this is where I'm most alive.
Yes, this is where I'm most alive. Then that's when I decided to do my PGCE. But it did not only start with that. Even when I applied at the institution at UP, I applied for education and economics. I'm telling you.
Okay.
So I applied for education and I applied for economics. And then I was accepted into education, right?
Okay.
But then, because I love economics as well, and I had my grade 12 teacher who taught me economics, who was like, you know what, you're really good at this, you're excelling at this, go study BCom Economics. And I never did much research, but I just knew that I love economics. I love drawing graphs, I love interpreting some data, because I'm thinking jobs in economics, data analysis, this is me. But I did not do proper research about it, and because of the results that I got in my matric, I'm like, oh, look at that, this is amazing, we're going to do economics. Then I decided to go into economics, and then if you start something, you must commit to finishing it. So it was one of those. I started it, as much as I was not enjoying it as much because of the mathematics that is in there, I just had to complete it, because you start, you have to finish.
So there's a lot of mathematics.
There's a lot.
Okay, so if you are looking into going into economics, you must know there's a lot of mathematics within that industry. So you're not running away from the maths. Instead, you're walking right into it. Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so let's talk about your academic journey. You started somewhere. We all start somewhere. Let's take it from high school all the way to where you are now.
Okay, so as you said, from Ivory Park, so I went to Eqinisweni Secondary School in Ivory Park in the township.
Oh, so it wasn't Ivory Park?
No, ma'am.
I think you went to Ivory Park.
No, definitely was not Ivory Park Secondary.
I don't know who
but
I'm thinking
anyways,
of. Okay.
it is in Ivory Park, so we're not far off. So yes, I went to Eqinisweni Secondary School. But before Eqinisweni, I was in the villages. I always like saying that I am a village girl, if that's a thing.
Villages way?
In Limpopo.
Okay.
So I grew up there, spent most of my life there, and did my all my primary school there, my grade 8 there. I only moved this side when I was doing my grade 9.
Oh.
So that's when I went to Eqinisweni Secondary School. But for like my primary and my first year of high school, I lived in Limpopo.
Which
in
stream did you do?
Commercial.
So commercial didn't have
commerce.
maths in it?
It did have maths
So
in
not
it,
math
yes.
lit, not math lit.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
So it did have maths in it. I did economics, I did tourism, I did accounting and mathematics, yes.
And then now, after high school, what happens? Did you go straight into UP, or were there some detours, or?
There was a detour because of my mathematics. Like I said previously, I don't like mathematics. Went into economics not realizing that it has a lot of mathematics in it. Lack of research. Went into it, you're just doing it because you like economics. But liking economics means you have to like mathematics as well. Love mathematics as well.
Love it.
Yes. So I had where were we? Sorry.
I said, so what happens after high school? So you said that you didn't go straight into varsity.
Yes, that's where we were. So my mathematics was not so good. And because I was pro economics, I want to get into economics, let me go there and upgrade my mathematics.
Okay.
So I had 1 year where I had to go and upgrade my mathematics before then being accepted into economics at the University of Pretoria. So there was that 1 year that I took out and I upgraded my mathematics. Then only after that did I get into BCom economics.
What advice would you give to someone who would like to upgrade? Because people know that I am anti-upgrading. Okay, and the only reason behind that is because I feel like a lot of people come back with the same results. Upgrading upgrading sense. I don't know what's going on, but a lot of people will come back with either the same results. I have it in my inbox. There's a lot of people who are in my inbox and they're like, listen, I decided to upgrade and I came back with the same results. I decided to upgrade and my results were worse than when I came back. So give someone advice who's going into upgrading, just to say these are some of the tips that you need to follow to actually upgrade successfully.
Okay, so at the time I obviously did not know any better, right?
Okay.
Lack of research again. So at the time I did not know any better, just went into, okay, no, you can upgrade your mathematics so that you get good marks. It's going to be added onto your certificate and all of that. I've seen a lot of people who went and upgraded their math and then they came back with the same results. Physical science, whatever. It's the same or it's worse. So I agree with you because I had someone very close to me do that for 2 years. And it was the first year it was worse, and the second year it was the same as the matric year, and I was just like, something is off here. So I think at the time, if I knew, I could have done bridging courses. You don't have to go to these institutions. You don't have to upgrade. You can do your research. At this point, I cannot tell you what because I don't know what stream you have, but you can do your research and then get into bridging courses that are going to get you into what you want to study. And another benefit to that is you're going to have a bit of more insight about what you want to study because maybe they'll allow you to take some of the first year modules.
And it's normally a year.
Yeah, it's normally a year, and then it puts you at an advantage as well when you want to like fully go into that specific course. You already know, or if they are talking about business law, this is what it is. Commercial law, this is what it entails. You understand? So it gives you an advantage, and it so you're not just stuck with doing matric again and just focusing on mathematics and losing your mind because now maybe your peers are in university doing all of these things. So bridging courses, that's what I would advise.
Is there a bridging course that you know that leads you into economics? At this
point, I'm not going to lie, I don't know.
Okay.
Right. But I am aware that if you want to get into it, there are bridging courses that you can take that would lead you to now get into. Because I remember in my first year, when I did first year at UP, there was this one girl whose mathematics and accounting were not good and she wanted to get into economics. And when we were talking to the counselors, they recommended something for her. So she was still there, but she had to take a bridging course before she could get into economics.
Nice one.
So, you're at university, you're getting exposed to all of these things. Then when you eventually start with your BCom economics, you are well set.
Yes.
So,
one thing I do know about bridging courses, if you are interested, you need to do as much research. And the best place to go to is a prospectus. Because, people... So a prospectus tells you about what the university is looking for, okay? And the best way is to go into the internet. Let's say you're looking for UP, University of Pretoria, prospectus. You go in. Sometimes they have extended courses. And when we talk about bridging courses, it's sometimes an extended course. It's sometimes a certificate. And sometimes you'll do the certificate. For instance, UNISA, for example, has a certificate in education. If you don't qualify for the degree, and then you go into it. So that's similar, but some courses like BCom, they've got extended courses, especially at UJ. You see how many times I'm mentioning UJ? UJ, you better do the right thing and recognize me. Yes, let's take a bit of a detour, okay? And talk about umjolo wama teenager.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's get into
things
it.
you wish you knew about romantic relationships as a teenager.
I think I wish I knew that it's just going to bring you heartache and that you're not missing out on anything.
Okay.
Because look, I did date in high school. Just having this boy in my class. He was my boyfriend. Came up to me. I'd like to be a boyfriend. You know. So, but it was just, being a teenager, nothing huge going into it, no big decisions going into it. It's just plain, this is my boyfriend, maybe you'll take my bag after school and all. But then, bayankapa after school, what? I felt like that girl. So it was one of those relationships. But now looking back, I'm like, you're not missing out on anything. There's nothing that I could sit. Some people have learned something in their high school relationships, but now I'm like, there isn't anything that you're missing out. If anything, they're going to break your heart, right?
Or you're going to break their heart.
Or you're going to break their heart. And you don't want that. You don't want to be in grade 11 or matric and you have a paper that you're writing and you're crying because he did not call you the whole day. He's not taking my calls. I mean, you have better things to worry about. How about getting good grades for that mathematics test or whatever economics test, right? But instead of you focusing on that, you're focused on your phone. Okay, a text gonna come through. Okay, well, maybe, the way I would just look, even as an adult, you just wanna, you wanna, right?
So imagine at 18.
And you have your studies, you have to push and do all of these things, but instead you're looking at your phone, looking to get a text from a boy. This boy is now dating someone else in a different class. It's a whole thing, and there's all I can say is there is no need. Don't do it. But people will still continue and experiment and I want to have my own experience. I'm not gonna, I'm not you, so maybe it will work out differently for me. Different strokes for different folks.
And then in matric, in matric,
we dated in grade 11 all the way to matric. So
did you guys finish your matric year together?
We did.
Okay, and then did it last long after that?
It did.
How?
So I never thought it would. So we dated in grade 11, started dating in grade 11 late. In grade 11, and then we continued our relationship in grade 12, wrote exams together. Sometimes I would help him with accounting, he would help me with another subject.
Effective
so
Mjolo.
it was effective Mjolo, yes, but I mean it had its own downsides, because you know how it goes, it had its own downsides. So we dated in matric, completed our matric, we passed and we celebrated, and it was a whole thing. Then started my first year, then started ring the relationship, because now the distance really did something. So now I don't see him as much as I would like to see him. I see him some weekends I don't see him. Then he started dating other girls. There was just scandals with him, and I was just like, you know what, it's not worth it. I am in my first year. Calculus is chowing, so you know what, I'm not about to concentrate on a relationship. I'm still young even. What am I even doing? You understand? So I decided to then let that go and just focus on my studies so that I can do good and become something great in life one day. So
now you graduate in BCom.
You
go into the world of work, and then you have a switch up. Okay? You switch up and you come to my side of the world. What if affected that decision? Oh, but you did say you love children and everything. But what gave you that last thing to say, you know what, actually I'm switching. I'm going to do my PGCE. And this is the role, the career that I'm going into.
I think when we initially started, I briefly touched on it.
Yes.
To say that I got into it, I'm doing it, it's going well, I am excelling in what I do, I am doing really great in my work. I moved, I think when I was in that company, I moved 3 positions.
Oh.
Yes, so I was growing, I was doing what I needed to do, but something was still missing. I just did not feel any fulfillment in a job. I felt like I was not living in my purpose. You understand? So I just felt like, man, there must be something better. There must be something greater out there. So what could it be? As I am working with children at the church and I'm tutoring children after work.
I'm
because
noticing things now.
Yes, while I worked there, I would knock off on Fridays and have tutoring sessions with matrics. So while I was doing the tutoring and then doing the work and doing the kids, I'm just like, you know what? No, man. I think I am more drawn to the other side than I am here. I am doing okay here.
Yes.
There are obviously ups and downs here and there, but I feel like I'm doing well here. But then my heart is not, no, I'm not at peace. Let me get into my PGCE and see. Got into my PGCE. So when I was doing my BCom economics, right? I was that girl who'd like get 60s, like I was just average like that. I'm just getting 60s here, I'm just getting a 65 here and there, some distinctions here and there. But then with my PGCE, I became that girl.
You're excelling.
Like in my PGCE, I was excelling because I feel like my heart was in it, and I was just hungry for this, and I really want to do this. There's this fire burning in me for this thing, and I was excelling. I was like A+ student in my PGCE, and also at the same time, I feel like when God calls you to something different, when they say God calls you to something different, He will make way. Because in economics, I felt like, I'm not settled, but we're doing this, and I'm just there with my 60s and my daughter score, my 50s here and there. I'm here with supplementary exams and all of that. But when I got into PGCE, trust me when I said everything was, because I was fully employed when I did my PGCE. So I had a full-time job, I had deadlines, I had this person screaming, I want this is due. And then I have to leave work and go and attend a class and do all of these things. So there was a lot going on, but I still continued to excel. So I did my PGC, and it was a breeze. It was amazing.
Shows you what love can do.
Yes.
When you are in something and you invested in something.
100%.
Let's go to grade 11. Things you wish you knew when you were in grade 11. That grade A, la man.
Grade 11 is very important. Maybe institutions are not going to worry too much about your matric results because now you're only in matric now. We want to see what happened in grade 11.
We want to see what person you were.
Grade 11, are you now only working? So grade 11 is very important because you even use your grade 11 to apply for your matric. So if anything, I really wish I had someone who told me, hey, you need to push and you need to push now. Because you don't want to start pushing in matric. There's a lot of things that you're missing in grade 11 that's going to create a huge gap that when you get to matric, you're like, wait, what? This is all for
my foundation. My foundation is not that good.
You understand? So you start taking it serious from grade 11. I cannot stress this enough. Grade 11 is very, very important. So if you're going to do anything for yourself, please get good grades in grade 11.
Thank you.
Please get good grades in grade 11.
I don't know. If grade 11s are not getting the message, they'll never get it. They definitely will never get the message. So, are there any... I want to actually just take it a bit back into economics for someone who might have this question. Okay? Yes, we are now in teaching. But did you find that when you were doing economics, there were a lot of job opportunities? Is it something that you would recommend? What do we do,
If you love mathematics, if you love analyzing data, if you love interpreting graphical representations and doing all of that, by all means go into economics, right? There are a lot of opportunities, But mostly if you have your postgrad, with your undergrad, because when I had my BCom economics, just the undergrad, it was difficult for me to secure a job. So there are jobs out there if you have this passion and fire for it and you want to study further. Postgrad, I have a lot of friends that decided to do a postgrad in economics and they're doing really well in life.
Okay.
So if you have that determination and the commitment and you want to stay consistent in the field,
Study further.
I think that is very important. Study further.
Study further.
Yeah. So you can, if you study further, there's like a lot of opportunities that you can get. You can be a data analyst, you can be an investment analyst, an economist, an economic analyst. So there's all of these things. Economics is very broad. So if you are interested in this and you are committed to taking your studies further, I mean, do it. You'll do great in life.
My last question. We find a lot of people moving from corporate and going into teaching. And we know that teaching is not as financially rewarding as corporate. Do you have any regrets where you are now?
Okay. I think with regards to finances, just a little, yeah.
Okay, just a little.
But I mean, if you make a decision to say this is the career path that I want to follow, and if you're looking at that, you're looking at other things outside that, but if you're in this thing, it will make it easier. Then you know what you're doing. You know that eventually I am going to get into these other things, and being in this profession will enable me to get there. Yeah, do it. So that's what I did as well. And what I say to people is, and some people will be like, but why would you do that? In the economy that we live in, why would you want to do that? With regards to my inner peace, absolutely rewarding. I am happy. Like, I'm very happy. I am at peace. I am doing really well. My kids are doing really well. But financially, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So some people thought, why, you're crazy. Why are you doing
why
this?
would you do
I
that?
had to take a small pay cut in order for me to get into teaching. So this is where I was in the job that I had, getting this much money. And then this teaching comes and they're like, no, you're a junior teacher. You do not have any experience. Yes, we understand that this is where you are with finances and this side, but this is what we are offering. And they did not force me to take it. If you feel like it's something that's not good enough for you, by all means, no one is going to force you to take it. But because of where I was, and I was just like, I know what my plan is. And as long as I know what my plan is, I can always make adjustments. I was like, okay, let's take this pay cut and see what happens. So I did that. And if I tell you, it's been amazing. And I am growing in ways that I have never even imagined, because you started off as a teacher, just being a teacher, but now you're head of this, you're head of that, you're doing, and then out of all of these things, you're learning things, you're
finding yourself.
You know,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So.
Teaching is a very rewarding industry, and we're always being told, if you want to go into teaching, just know you're not going to be a millionaire in a while, unless you have a side hustle or whatever the case is. Tertia, thank you so much. This has been so meaningful, and I know abantwana basekazi, abantwana wherever, all over South Africa, they've caught on to whatever you've said. You know, do you have any parting words for whoever that's listening who's a teenager? Because listen here, things I wish I knew. What are some of the things that you wish you knew? Any parting words?
I think a whole lot of people emphasize on this. I'm just also going to say the same thing. Go to school.
Yeah.
Please go to school. And you just mentioned an important point that sometimes passion is not going to give you as much money. But I can't remember who this person was who said money follows passion.
Yeah.
So if you go into your passion, there are some other things that you're going to get outside of that will enable you to make even more money. But the most important thing, go to school. Leave boys alone, please. Go to school.
Big topic, that one.
Yeah, go to school and just focus on setting up a nice career for yourself and stay focused. Whatever you do, don't get distracted. stay focused, decide what is it that you want to do for yourself, decide what is it that you want to become in life, and start now to prepare for that. You're not going to start in university for you to prepare for the future that you want. You're starting right now in grade 9, you're starting right now in grade 8, because commitment, responsibility, and consistency is not something that you're going to start in university. You start maybe right now in high school or in primary school, and as you grow, it becomes a part of you, right? It's not a thing that I have to do this, I have to do that. If it's something that was your foundation, you're able to carry on with that. And I can tell you right now, if you're a person who's consistent, you're committed, and you're responsible, and you are just like, let's go, there's no stopping you.
Oh, so that's all. That was Tsha, guys. She is incredible and so brave to have a career switch, in the middle of adulting, because adulting is hard. And she decided to just make that switch because she knew what she wanted in her heart. Do not be afraid to follow what you love. That's the message that she's giving us today. Thank you so much, Tsha. Lots and lots and lots of love and all the best for the future.
Thank you for having me,
Thank you.